Time for a new video, everyone. Here we go. This time we're going to be taking a look at the performance of the Tomb Raider franchise on the P106 GPU, which is very similar to GTX 1060. We're starting with the Tomb Raider 2013. We're running at 4K, and these are the settings we're currently running on. I'm just going to drop TressFX to normal here, and I'm going to turn off tessellation because we need every bit of performance we can get at 4K because it can't quite do it. After that, as you can see, we're getting around 60-ish FPS. But we've dropped a little bit more in terms of the quality than you probably should, because stretch effects and tessellation are very important to the graphics in this game. So there you go, at 4K. At 4K it's fine. So this time we're at 1080p and the same settings at 4K. As you can see, dropping from 4K to 1080 is such a massive performance boost, because 4K, you might forget, but 4K is actually so close. Almost. Okay. Can I get up? Where's the way up? I'm lost. Who cares? Yeah, that was 1080 with no TressFX and tessellation. This time we have TressFX and tessellation enabled, and we're seeing a little bit of drop in performance, but it's still perfectly fine. But it's an old game. I mean, it's 2013. It's like 12 years ago. Damn, it's such a long time. Time flies, man. 12 years old. This game is not getting there now. We're doing a benchmark. There are important things to do. So 1080p, that was fine. So this time we're going to be trying the ultimate preset without any changes, and obviously we're going to get low performance. Some of the settings that I've disabled but for the optimized run actually doesn't, at least to me, doesn't improve the visuals at all. And you get a 20 to 30% performance hit just by having those settings turned on. So there you go. So this game runs fine. You do have to compromise a little bit at 4K, but you're not really going to be using this card at 4K. You at best are going to be running at 1080, and this is perfectly fine. So next up, we're going to be testing Rise of the Tomb Raider. We're running at 1080p, and these are the optimized settings that I'm using right now. And we're going to be taking a look at the very high preset later on. Before I forget, the reason I chose an open world area in all three games is because they're a lot more demanding than the linear parts of the game, where there's a smaller area and a lot less to render, and you tend to get a lot of frames. This is kind of the worst case scenario for this game. And as you can see, we're getting around 60. Sometimes dropping below 60, but it's definitely fine, perfectly fine. Now we've turned up the resolution to 4K, and you need to keep settings a bit low, because as you can see, we're dropping below 30 FPS. I mean, that's to be expected. Why do I sound surprised? As if I didn't expect this to happen. I mean, obviously, it's not going to run 4K. It's just a 1060. Sometimes we're getting kind of close to 30 FPS, like right now. And in some less demanding areas of the game, you might get 40. But still, I don't know. It's not quite there. Right, we're going to drop the resolution to 1080 and use the very high preset, but I'm still going to be dropping the textures to high because 6 gigs of VRAM on this card is not enough for very high. And I'm going to turn off motion blur as always. It's still reloading textures, but you can't play the game. And it's finished. As you can see, the performance is actually quite similar to the optimized settings that I was using, but you have to remember some of the settings are actually that I'm using are higher than the default preset, like Hairworks or the hair, which is set to on and I was using very high. Finally, we're going to be looking at Shadow the Tomb Raider. We're using custom settings. These are the settings I'm using at 1080p. These are the optimized settings. And we're at the town of Kwakyaku and we're getting less than 60 FPS pretty much. So definitely not running as well as Rise of the Tomb Raider. So 1080p, not a problem. So we've just changed to 1080p, the highest preset, but having turned off motion blur obviously, as always. I will always turn off motion blur. If there's an option to turn off motion blur, you bet I will use it. There you go, 1080p highest is actually not that much different from the optimized setting that I just showed you, but the settings that I was using actually had a higher level of detail, so that might explain some of the performance differences we're seeing here. Alright, so I think it's time finally to try 4K. And I think, oh my god, we're getting 17 FPS. We're almost down to single digits. And I think we might be running out of VRAM because we're pretty much maxed out. I mean, the utilization stat on the top left doesn't show it, but even if it's in this game specifically, if you're close to the VRAM allocation, the total amount of VRAM that you have on your card, you're going to run out of VRAM. So I'm going to drop the texture quality to normal actually. So to ensure that we don't have any problems in terms of VRAM, and we'll see if there are any differences. It's still reloading textures. Let's see what happens. So we did get around 3 or 4 FPS at 4K. Forget it. It's not there. It's not happening. It's not gonna happen. It will never happen. It is what it is. But for 20 bucks, This is fine. Especially at 1080p, you can play the entire Tomb Raider franchise on the P106, which is basically GTX 1060. So there you go, guys. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in a future video soon. Take care, guys. Bye.